I am just so honored to be standing in front of all of you leaders of our community. And what we have to do is urgent and very important for our state. And it's very appropriate that to start us off, we have a school from the area, a charter school, Hawaii.avi, who they are in the Apuaha that comes from the top of Kalihi Valley all the way down Sand Island. And to have gone to their site at the very top of the valley where the water is still clean and clear. And they do the water studies there, and they do the water studies as the stream progresses down. And as I progressed down with them into the deep industrial areas across to Sand Island, I felt like an alien in our own land. And these children understand the importance of legacy. And so I thought, how appropriate that a Hawaii.avi be able to start the Oli and a Puli to start us off in the right direction. On. That's pretty good. You probably couldn't even hear me. Anyway, I would like to put special greetings out to some of our honored guests that are here. We have Lieutenant Governor Duke Iona, who has joined us. Representative Roy Takumi. Representative Jean Ward. Michael Kitamura, Office of Senator Dan Akaka. And Carl Takamura, Office of Congressman Mazie Hirono. That was a very fast up and down, Carl. Good to see you. And Representative Lynn Finnegan. Now, we are on a fast roll this morning, and I would like very much to have Jeff Bloom come forward. Jeff has been a major leader and driver for this conference, and throughout the years has done much with his high-tech quest. And we know that the time is urgent for private, public, and charters to pull together, and we as an entire community to support our efforts. Okay, Jeff.
Aloha and welcome, everybody. First of all, I did a little bit of housekeeping because they asked me to do this. One is there is food and drinks next door in 214. If anyone wants coffee, sodas later, or water, be in there. But they asked not to bring it in the conference center. So if we can please kakua, that'd be great. Secondly, the bathrooms are all the way out the back door, men's and women's to the left and right. And thirdly, I'd like to acknowledge some people that have worked very hard behind the scenes to make this work. This has not been just a one or two people effort. There was not an organization or a company or someone doing this. This was all kind of grassroots. There's just some people that came together that said there are some things we need to do in this community and in this state, and that we've been working across the state to do some of these things and bring people together. So with this group, this is actually the second conference we did. We did one in April in Hilo at the Astronomy Center where we brought teachers and educators together to have some of these same types of facilitated discussions, came back with what they would like to see done within STEM education in the future for our children. And then now we're trying to do it across the community. So today is an important day because, one, if you look around the room or you look at your sheet that has everybody that's registered, you will see there's a broad depth and breadth across all types of organizations and people representing multiple organizations and multiple peoples here today. The reason we did that was we wanted to be able to have a community get together and say and participate in how we can bring our goals and our visions for STEM education in Hawaii for our keiki. And that's what's really important. It wasn't the number of people we had, it was the people who came and who they were representing. And so if you look at that list, it's very powerful. But I'd like to acknowledge, as I say, a few people have been working. We've been meeting for, 2-3 months just on this conference. When we finished the one in April, we started working on this one. And again, most people on their own time and with just a shoestring, a couple dollars to put this together. And obviously, first I want to thank HCC. Ramsey Pedersen is not here, he's on the mainland. But Ralph Cam also helped very much with us getting this together here. Also, as Donna said, there have been a lot of us, but Donna Estemago has been a driving force. Mike Rhoda, Gary Griffiths from UH College of Engineering School, Office of Redesign. I get all that together. Let's see, Bully Suarez, Ted Liu, who couldn't be here today. He's literally flat on his back. He came in the office. He was out all last week sick with this bug that's going around. Came back in the office, and on Tuesday I got an email from him saying my doctor and my wife said, if I don't go home and get back into bed, they're going to shoot me. So he sends his regrets that he couldn't be here and his regards. But DBED has been very helpful to us. Lisa Gibson from the Hawaii Science and Technology Council. And now, are you guys calling it SciTech now, High SciTech, or is it still Science Technology Council? High SciTech, okay, I have to, in my brain, I got to change it. And also the institute that they have. And then also, besides DBED, as I said, we have the University of Hawaii system and the Office of College of the College of Education at the University of Hawaii, and it's the School of Redesign. I think I have that correct. And Gary is with the College of Education. I know there's probably a couple people I'm missing. I'm trying to think of who sits at those tables, but there's probably some people I didn't acknowledge. But again, I want to thank all of them very much because this wouldn't have happened. And as I said, this is a grassroots effort. This is not an organization. No one's put this together. But one of the things that we wanted to do and that was important to us was look at the future and what are we going to prepare for our children. This is a quote that I'd read, a number of studies I read in different places. I'm not sure where I found it, but it's very important. The future is not some place where we're going to, but one we are all creating. The paths are not easy to be found, but are made, and the activity of making them changes both the maker and the destination. Obviously, he can say it better than I can. But the point is that we're all here that's going to affect the future. One of the things that's been done this past year, all of a sudden, I was talking to Guy Kawasaki a little bit earlier about this, is all of a sudden STEM and innovation and all these other things have hit the public stream. Some of us have been talking about this for years and years, and not just about children who are going to work in the technology or the engineering industry or some of those, but how we're going to prepare our young children for the future. How are we going to give them the tools for the information that they need? And again, if you think about it, look at what a kid walks around with. A cell phone or now an iPhone that plays music, plays video, they're chatting. They have more technology and more access to information in their pocket than any other generation before us. And now when they come out with even a couple of new tools I've seen coming, it's incredible whether you're getting on your On your iPods, you're getting podcasts now that are coming down, video casts. Teachers, someone just told me this morning, teachers now are taking video podcasts, putting them up there, and then you can get lessons on your iPod or your iPhone off the internet. So we are so connected. It's just unbelievable that we're at a point now where there's a lot of momentum and a lot of inertia, and not just here, but across the country. There's lots of national studies that have been done by NSF and other folks, but we're all kind of trying to pull together, not do one of these, oh, that's them, this is us, oh, that's that group, we're public, they're private, we're charter, we don't, any of those types of things I hear. We're business, they're union, we're Democrats, they're Republicans. It's all of us, because that's our future. These are our children. So today, as I said, we've gathered together representatives from diverse organizations across the state, each with different perspectives, who have come together to identify some common goals. And that's what we'll have. This morning you'll hear from Guy Kawasaki and Mike Rhoda. Then you'll be able to go see some breakouts next door of actually some children and what they're doing. And then the afternoon we'll go break for lunch, obviously, and then the whole afternoon we're going to spend having these discussions and coming up with what those goals are. And that's why almost all these organizations that are here were handpicked to send representatives. Some of them obviously may not have attended, but I would think we're probably at like 90% or 95% of the organizations we tried to get. So again, if you look at that list, it's very, very powerful. One of the things that people always ask me is, what is STEM? It's this buzzword, and some of us obviously know it's science, technology, engineering, and math, but what really is that? And so I always tell them, first of all, don't get caught up on the words. It's not the words. STEM is about creativity, innovation, and inquiry based on learning. That's what STEM is. STEM is not just for people who are going to be, as I say, technicians or going to biotech or go into fixing computers or whatever. It's all about what I look at, and I think those are key words: creativity, innovation, and inquiry-based learning. STEM reaches across the depth and breadth of our society, and hence why we invited people. It wasn't just educators, or it wasn't just people in the technology industry or in some of that. It really is going across the entire society. And when I look at it, I feel it's not just those who want to be techies or engineers, but it's about everything around us, from cell phones to appliances, from buildings to cars, banks to hotels, from the environment to energy. All those things has a piece of STEM in them, and we see it every day. We just don't think about it, but it's all there. And that's an important piece to keep in mind, because a lot of people say, oh, well, I'm in construction, that shouldn't affect me. Well, wait a minute. When I go to construction sites, the first thing Mike wrote and I hear when we go out there is we can't find children who can even add, who know math well enough to use the new tools. We have such sophisticated tools now. Go to the car repair shop. What are they doing? It's a computer. I mean, on and on and on. You have to be tech savvy. You have to understand these things. So STEM education is not just for smart students or students who want to get an advanced degree. STEM education is not just for the 10 or 15% who think they want to have a career that way. STEM education is for all students. It's the basis of true contextual learning. This is a quote, and you can read it. This came from Dr. Vincent Ferrandino, and he wrote this in a study that was released by the Mott Foundation called A New Day for Learning at the beginning of the year. And I think it's very apropos for us, because our challenge is to encourage, connect, and foster learning throughout a child's day. The first thing we have to remember is learning does not stop when the bell rings. We're all learning every day, and our children are learning every day, all the time. And we forget that. We think as soon as the bell rings, okay, they go home, just go play. But they're learning all the time. So how do we help children make sense of all the information experiences in their lives? And in different words, it's the same challenge before our policymakers. How do we ensure that all children have opportunities to reach their full potential in a competitive world, and where thinking skills are the most important asset of a society? And I think that's critical. It's the thinking skills. It's going to be how well you can think that's going to have you have success in the future. So our mission today is to catalyze conversations, raise awareness, and formulate a shared vision and goals for STEM education outcomes in Hawaii. It's kind of a mouthful, but that's really what we have, and you have some of this in your packages. The last thing was just this Thomas Alva Edison quote. And I think, again, very fits here. I've never made a mistake and think how many things he invented in his life. You know, if you read about him, it's incredible what he was involved in. We all think of the light bulb and certain things and the record player, but there's thousands of patents and thousands of ideas that he had. And so, again, he's only learned from experience, and that's critical for our children. So with that, what I'd like to do is we kind of flip-flop the schedule a little bit this morning. Mike Rhoda is going to come and introduce Guy. Ted, again, was going to do it here, but he sends his regards. He couldn't do that, so Mike will do it. And Guy has a plane to catch. So we're going to go up. Did Mike? Oh, there's Mike. You're hiding on me. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. And then what we want to know, these were our sponsors, but would you look at our convener list was all the public and private schools, including charter, DOE, and privates, but then also all the universities, UH, and then Chaminade, HPU, and BYU Hawaii. Oh, and Jeff Piontek, I'm sorry. See, I told you I was going to forget somebody. And Jeff Piontek from DOE, because he's spent a lot of time with us. See, you're so far in the back, I can't see you. But Jeff is a mover and a shaker behind a lot of these things, and especially within DOE. So it's been very important and helpful for us to be part of that. Donna, I'm glad you're catching me on that. I knew I'd missed somebody. And Chris, did I say Chris? And Chris Barron from DBED, who's been representing TED.